Hey, what's happening? What's happening? It's your boy Crispy T. I hope you guys are keeping well, doing the whole thing. Yeah. My voice is still a little raspy. Well, it always is, but in any case, it's just because I've been trying to recover from the quote unquote C virus. Okay, I don't know if I tested positive, but anyway, sorry guys. Oh, do pardon me. Anyway, let me get back into this. So this is an opinion piece, and it's about the whole student protests around the country. And yeah, I don't want to say that this is the reason why I called it an opinion piece is that yes, I did actually have some foresight into it. This was in May 2020, but it was pertaining to particularly the secondary schools and below, where it was the lower education, not the higher one. So it was at the time it was about the certain public schools, right? The government schools were blocking off of roads and burning tires, and the only schools that did not take part in it were the private schools that kind of sat to the side. So what happened in the dream itself is that because I actually went to private school, I actually went to private school all my life. Um, Apart from like 1 month in yeah, I was just what is like 1 month of my whole schooling life, and what had happened was it was the year it was in 1992, and in that year, uh, what happened was the government schools at the time, because it was under National Party. Okay, sorry, it was in 1991. What am I saying? And in 1991 was the year that they opened government schools to black children, and prior to that, I was at a private school, and that's the only thing is that if I wanted a good education and I did not attend in the quote unquote locations or the townships areas, um, I would have to attend a private school. Yeah, it was a sad scenario, and that's just how it was under National Party. And then in 1991, they decided to open it, but I don't know. That's why I was like wondering why people started saying that. Oh, but the standards in government schools were higher in the National Party, and I'm like, no, they were not. No, they were not. People, no, they were not. Let me just put it out there. I do not agree with it, and I know some people are gonna come at me and say, "Oh, wow, yeah, the standards have gone down." I'm like, if anything, what actually more happened was that the standards were sort of reconverted. So to get over the line is a little different. It's just that the criterion was sort of the names under the kinds of passes that you had. And back in those days, when I completed, you used to have higher grade and standard grade. You even had lower grade and even functional grade for someone. Yeah, if you were really terrible. So if anything, there were even certain concessions that would get you over the line, and you would get your matric for the lowest of the low. And I know people personally that passed like that under the whole old system and before it was revamped after I matriculated. So let's just get that one out the way. People just like to use that, and again, when it comes to education, it's very hard to quantify and qualify what's a standard, and you can say yeah 50% and all of that, but in certain schools or certain things, there's a certain different curriculum and a certain methodology of testing, and anyone, and especially on when it comes to subjective marking, like how do you now start going into everybody's head that this is the way that they should mark, and you make sure that it's standardized across the board. It's a hard thing to do. Terrible. Even under apartheid, when it was so-called better in higher education, in the township schools, that was not the case. Otherwise, my parents would have never enrolled me in a private school um, had that been the general sentiment that it didn't matter how you went, this was the standard, and your input, as in the quality of education that is presented to you, is equitable across the board, and it's not the case. It was never the case, guys. So let's just leave that one there, and I think I'm just digressing, but I just had to passionately get that one out. It was just that it was in my spirit, and I just felt like I had to say this. Okay, Now to go back to the actual dream, and now in the dream itself, what happened was the private school children were not partaking in the whole protest, and they were just over to the one side. So this was like in May of last year, and I've got the screenshot up on the website, and I'm gonna put the link to the website on the below the YouTube channel, so you can see that yes, I did have a message. It's just that I did not make it part of the Calling of a Ravenous Bird series because it was particularly about that situation with the private schools and the public schools. Now, what happened was this: is that there was that action, and it was proposed that public schools and the trade unions and all that, those people from there wanted to shut down our private schools now because of the lockdowns and everything. But here's the thing, though, they kind of missed the mark because they thought, oh, because private schools get to go back uh, and they must stay at home, so now they were sort of unfairly discriminated, and it means that people at private schools get an unfair advantage, and that was not true. What happened is the private schools were going on holiday anyway, so it was a bit of an embarrassing situation. I wish I can find that clip. Maybe I should find that news clip for you guys, and I'll just put that in as to how that one was actually quelled. And nothing came of it in the end, but it was a situation that actually happened. It was this just goes to show that prophecy can also be conditional, right? So it was proposed, it was on the gates. It's just that these guys sort of yeah, they put the cart before the horse, so to speak, and sort of jumped the gun on that, and yeah, did not actually think it through as to what actually was actually going on. Is that private schools were on holiday anyway, and everyone, so it was all going to work out to the same thing in any case, and all they needed to do was just round out their and prepare for their holidays, and that was that. That was the difference between the two scenarios. So everybody actually ended up closing down at the same time. Now let's get back into this. And now, essentially, what has happened is with NASFAS not paying, um, well, not being able to pay for students who come from disadvantaged backgrounds and who need to attend college and all of that stuff has left us, yeah, left them pretty much, yeah, on the street, and not on the street as per se, but left out in the cold in terms of academics, and they cannot register. So that's why there's this mass action. And again, it's the ANC's failings and them not being able to fulfill their promises, because now to fulfill those promises it takes money, and money is one thing that this government has run out of. And yeah, we're just seeing this embarrassing situation. I can only speak for the UJ, and I'm a UJ grad, and I can tell you for that what they've done with a lot of these students is that they've gotten them to sign acknowledgement of debts, meaning that NASFAS, even though they came in through NASFAS and NASFAS originally paid, NASFAS owes the campus money. So now what they've done is that they've decided to mitigate the risk by putting the acknowledgement of debt onto the student to pay it back, so that NASFAS now gets out the deal in moving forward. So yeah, I don't know if there's any money that NASFAS paid out to the universities, but that's all I know, right? And hence why I'm just saying it's an opinion piece right now. And all various universities, I think, are sort of like trying to work out their situations. However, yeah, I don't think this is a situation that's going to be resolved anytime soon, people. This is going to There was another subsequent dream that I had where it turned very racial. Okay, and this was like, I think, around September, October of last year. I can't remember. And anyway, it's just that what happened is that there was just, I'm not gonna get into the details and all that. I just saw some bloodbaths and all that. Yeah, I'm getting and some murders, and and normally I'm careful when I see deaths in dreams and things, because it could mean something else. And metaphorical meaning mainly transformational and changes. So, but in that situation, because of the hostility, I wasn't too sure what this means. So, but however, it did turn racial. If you look at the fact that there were protests of the Wit students in particular out in Braamfontein, and what happened there was they started chanting "one settler, one bullet" in the streets while they shut down the shops and also blocked off the access to the roads. And so that sort of also came into being, although it was a little bit roundabout. And yes, there was one guy who was fatally wounded and all that. But that's I can't say I saw that. I didn't see that. It was yeah. I don't even really want to say what I'm not even supposed to say what I actually saw. But I can only tell you that it turned ugly. It turned ugly. I won't lie on that part, but. Yeah, I don't want to specify exactly what happens and all that because anything can happen. And yeah, and this protest action is it will likely take a even more dramatic turn, which is going to be resemblance to 1976 on June 16th, like I just showed on my on the screenshot that I said, where I actually showed the dream that and at that time last year, that's when the schools were supposed to reconvene after that. And what happened is that they kind of subsequently um, went back on that and reneged on that and recanted that whole statement and decided no, they're going to open up in July or something. I can't even remember what happened thereafter. But yeah, what happened with COVID was just a bit of a strange situation, and one thing that needs to be looked at as an exception, and it was under a very extreme situation, something that we may never see again anytime soon. So who knows? So it was 2020 was just that kind of year, needless to say, and I don't need to overemphasize that. But anyway, I just wanted to give this opinion piece over here and just show you that sometimes even within prophecy as well, it can be conditional. But I can tell you that in a related situation and the student debt now and things now getting out of hand, that the government has run out of money and they've just lost control of the situation, and now it's now police versus students. So yeah, so people, just please take care, and if you don't need to be on campus and all that, just stay home, for now. And I'm not saying because of this whole COVID thing, and I'm just repeating that mantra, but I'm just saying that please just stay home just for your own safety. Don't get exceptional. I mean, I saw a situation yesterday, it was on the news, where a taxi driver pulled out a knife because of this whole protest thing, and he could not get access to where you wanted to go. And yeah, so you can see the tempers are flaring. Luckily it sort of diffused and didn't get overly charged or anything, yeah, beyond that. But yes, it did sort of happen. But anyway, I'll speak to you soon, and take care, my people. Peace out. Oh, one more thing, sorry. There was the calling of a ravenous bird that I wanted to do, but I'll do it. Remember, I gave that whole 27th date. But yeah, just at episode 10, though, that one prophecy I was supposed to hold back until everything sort of falls into line, and this whole system of things and things of just, yeah, like we've come used to. And with the ANC looking like they're losing their grip on the situation, I'll let you know when I put that one out, and that should be episode 10 of calling of a ravenous bird. That one prophecy I was holding back on only because God wanted me to do that. So so that people must know what to expect when that happens. Anyway, guys, love and light. I'll speak. I should have another update coming for you soon. So just hang in there. Enjoy this one. Please take care. It's quite a volatile situation. Cheers.